You see it in every survival movie. The hero is lost, he's starving, he flips over a log, finds a giant squirming beetle and bites into it. Slime explodes everywhere. He grimaces, swallows it, and looks at the camera like a tough guy. And you think, wow, that's what it takes to survive. I'm here to tell you that what you just watched isn't survival. It is theater. And in the real world, that is how you get a brain parasite and die of dysentery 3 days later. Hollywood treats insects like free vending machine snacks scattered around the forest. They ignore the math, the biology, and the toxicology. If you eat the wrong bug, you die. If you eat the right bug the wrong way, you die. And if you chase a bug to catch it, you are starving to death in fast forward. We are going to break down the calorie to disgust ratio. We are going to look at the physics of energy expenditure and the microbiology of what actually lives inside that cricket. Stop trying to be a lizard. Start thinking like a bioengineer. Let's look at the data. The first major failure point is the calorie math. The problem is the hunter-gatherer fantasy. You imagine yourself running through a meadow, snatching grasshoppers out of the air like a ninja. The reality is that this is a thermodynamic suicide pact. Survival is a game of energy return on investment, or EROI. It is a simple equation, calories gained minus calories burned. A single fresh field cricket weighs about 0.5 to 1 gram and contains roughly 1 to 3 calories. But if you dry roast a handful, say 20 crickets, you're looking at 20 to 60 calories for that batch. The math only works if you harvest in bulk, not one at a time. The average human burns roughly 300 to 400 calories an hour just hiking. If you are sprinting, bending over, digging, and jumping to catch crickets, that burn rate spikes. If you spend 5 calories of mechanical energy to catch a cricket that gives you 2 calories of chemical energy, you are running a net deficit. You are literally eating yourself to death. You would live longer if you just sat under a tree and slept. The U.S. Army Field Manual 21-76 is explicit about this. It states that you should never expend more energy gathering food than the food provides. It's basic economics. You cannot spend $1 to earn a dime and expect to get rich. The solution is passive harvesting. You do not hunt bugs, you trap them, or you harvest them in mass quantities. If you can't catch 100 of them in a single scoop, it isn't worth your time. You are looking for high-density clusters, termite mounds, ant hills, rotting logs filled with grubs. Or you build a pitfall trap. Bury a bucket or a bottle flush with the ground. Put a piece of rotten meat or fruit inside. Come back in the morning. If the bugs are in the bucket, you win. The bucket did the work. You spent 0 calories. That is how a survivor eats. The second failure point is the raw food myth. The problem is the belief that because animals eat bugs raw, you can too. You think nature is clean. The reality is that insects are biological hazmat containers. Insects are vectors. They are intermediate hosts for tapeworms, nematodes, and flukes. A massive 2019 study published in the scientific journal PLOS One analyzed 300 insect farms in Central Europe. They looked at mealworms, crickets, and cockroaches. Here's what they found. Parasites were detected in over 81% of the farms. Now, pay attention. Roughly 30% of those farms carried parasites that were pathogenic to humans. We aren't talking about a tummy ache. They found Cryptosporidium, tapeworm larvae, and Entamoeba histolytica, the parasite that causes amoebic dysentery. These weren't theoretical risks. They were sitting in the bug's guts. And remember, that study was on farmed insects. Wild insects eating trash and feces, the risk is exponentially higher. Eating a raw bug is playing Russian roulette with a 3-chambered revolver. 1 in 3 might put you in the hospital. In a survival situation, the hospital doesn't exist. U.S. Army Field Manual 3-05-70 puts insects in the same category as raw meat. It mandates cooking. The metaphor is simple. You wouldn't eat raw chicken you found on the floor of a subway station. A wild cockroach is no different. It's a trash collector. The solution is the crunch protocol. Cooking is non-negotiable.
The same PLOS-1 study confirmed that boiling insects for just 5 minutes is efficient for killing bacteria like Enterobacteriaceae. You must denature the proteins. Boil them first to sterilize the inside, then roast them until they are brittle. If it is squishy, it is dangerous. You want it to shatter like a chip. Also, remove the legs and wings. They are pure chitin. They have zero nutritional value, and they are barbed. They will get stuck in your throat. And there's one more risk the data warns about: allergies. If you are allergic to shrimp, lobster, or crab, you are almost certainly allergic to insects. They share a protein called tropomyosin. If you eat a cricket and go into anaphylactic shock in the woods, you die faster than starvation could ever kill you. If you can't eat shrimp, don't eat bugs. Quick pause. If you don't want to be the guy who dies of a parasitic infection because he watched a reality TV show, hit subscribe. We rely on manuals here, not memes. Back to the list. The third failure point is the vomit penalty. The problem is your own psychology, the disgust factor. You are starving. You find a massive, juicy grub. It looks like snot wrapped in skin. Your brain screams no, but you force it down because you think you need the calories. The reality is that if you vomit, you have just shortened your lifespan by 2 days. Vomiting is a catastrophic event in a survival scenario. You lose the calories you just ate, you lose stomach acid, but most importantly, you lose massive amounts of water and electrolytes. The Wilderness Medical Society guidelines prioritize hydration and electrolyte retention above calorie intake in the short term. You can live 3 weeks without food. You can die in 3 days without water. Risking a vomit for 50 calories of protein is a bad trade. The solution is the mash. Do not look at the bug while you eat it. Do not focus on the texture. If you can, mash the cooked insects into a paste. Mix them with wild greens or roots to hide the texture. If you can't mask it and your gag reflex is triggering, do not eat it. Starving slowly is better than dehydrating instantly. The fourth failure point is target selection. Not all bugs are food. Some are chemical weapons. We are going to use a tier list to separate the protein from the poison. F tier, the death traps. Number 1, slugs and snails. Never eat a raw slug. They carry the rat lungworm parasite. It causes eosinophilic meningitis. It burrows into your brain. Leave them alone. Number 2, hairy caterpillars. Those hairs are urticating bristles. They release toxins and cause massive throat swelling. You can asphyxiate on your own throat closing up. Number 3, blister beetles. If you see a soft-bodied beetle that irritates your skin, do not eat it. They contain cantharidin. Eating just a few can shut down your kidneys. C tier, the desperation snacks. Ants and earthworms. Ants are tiny and loaded with formic acid. You have to boil them to neutralize the acid. Earthworms are edible and protein-rich, but they're literally tubes filled with soil and bacteria. You must purge them. Soak them in clean water for 24 hours so they void their guts. Then boil them. If you don't have time or water, skip them. But if you do it right, they're a legitimate food source. S tier, the survival superfoods. If you are going to eat a bug, eat these. First, grubs and larvae, found in rotting logs. These are S tier because of one word: fat. Fat has 9 calories per gram. Protein only has 4. Grubs are slow, calorie-dense, and easy to harvest. Gut them, boil them, mash them. Second, termites. Termites are higher in protein per gram than beef. They live in massive colonies. You don't hunt them, you raid them. Thousands of calories in one location. Third, crickets and grasshoppers, the standard protein. But remember, remove the guts and the head. The digestive tract is where most pathogens concentrate. If you can, squeeze out the gut content before cooking. Real survival is boring. It is calculated. It isn't about biting the head off a bat. It's about spreadsheets. Does the energy I spend catching this equal the energy I eat eating it? Did I boil it long enough to kill the cryptosporidium? Am I allergic to it? If you ignore the science, you aren't a survivor. You're a host for a parasite. Don't eat bright bugs. Don't eat fuzzy bugs. Cook everything until it crunches. Stop trying to be a TV character. Start acting like a survivor. Your move. Tactical Bear out.